recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Poe, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have great concerns about this whole process. This is reminiscent to me of the old-fashioned Star Chamber, where courts met in secret, issued their verdicts and edicts in secret. No one knew what happened until the sentence was carried out. I also spent some time in the Soviet Union when it was the Soviet Union. Everything I did and all the citizens did was spied on by the Soviets. And here we are in 2014 trying to justify what I think is spying on American citizens. Mr. Cole, I have a question for you, but I want to quote Mr. Medine in his testimony. He said, based on the information provided to the board, including classified briefings and documentation, we have not identified a single instance involving a threat to the United States in which the program made a concrete difference in the outcome of a counterterrorism investigation. Mr. Cole, name one criminal case that has been filed based upon this vast surveillance and metadata collection.
Congressman, I think there was one which was a material support case that was filed based on the 215 metadata where we were able to identify someone. And again, as I've said, this is not...
Reclaiming my time, as you know, our time is limited. So how many criminal have been filed based upon this massive seizure?
Well, the criminal support statute is a criminal the material support statute.
My question is how many?
I don't know off the top of my head, Congressman.
There's one.
There may be one.
There may be one. So we have this vast metadata collection on Americans, and the reason is, we have to seize this information or we're going to all die because of terrorists. And you're telling me, as a former prosecutor, I'm a former judge and prosecutor, all this information has collected us one criminal case? Is that what you're saying, that you know of?
Well, Congressman, the point of this is not necessarily to make criminal cases.
I'm not asking
about
to
gather intelligence.
Reclaiming my time. My question is one criminal case. That is all you can show for criminal cases being filed against individuals, right?
I think that's the correct number, but I'd have to go back and check to be sure.
It may not even be one then.
That's the point of the statute, is not to do criminal investigations. The point of the statute is to do foreign intelligence investigations.
But the collection is on American citizens. When a warrant is served, I signed a lot of warrants. Fourth Amendment. You know, I actually believe in the Fourth Amendment. This warrant is served. Police officers go out and investigate. They return the warrant, and it is filed as a public document in state courts and in federal courts. But when collection on American citizens of their information, this is not made public to them. They never know that this information was seized from them, do they?
Well, as I think even the PCLOB and the President's Review Group have noted, the Fourth Amendment doesn't cover the collection of metadata under the current law. So it wouldn't have
I know
those
that's the current law, but that's not my question. My question is, the information is seized from them. They do not know that their personal information was seized by the federal government. They don't know that. They're not protected under our current statute under the Patriot Act. Is that correct or not?
The information doesn't come from them. It comes from the companies that they have phone service with. And no, they're not informed directly that that metadata from those phone companies has been collected.
Do you have a problem with that information being seized on Americans through a third party, and Americans never know that they are the subject to this metadata collection? I mean, do you have a personal problem with that, or you think that's okay, the government ought to do that?
These are the issues we grapple with every day, Congressman, as far as trying to do national security investigations and trying to protect people's civil liberties, and we take leads from the court as to the scope of the Fourth Amendment and where people's reasonable expectations of privacy are, and these are difficult lines to deal with. Well, and it's just what we're doing right now, is trying to find where that right line is.
Well, I think it's an invasion of personal privacy, and it's justified on the idea that we're got to capture these terrorists. And the evidence, based on what you've told me, is all of this collection has resulted in one bad guy having criminal charges filed on him. I think that's a bit overreaching to justify this massive collection on individuals' personal
privacy. That's just my opinion. I'll yield back to the chair.